Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, college football edition. Today, we are going to be talking about the week 4 that just concluded. A lot of big games. Obviously, we previewed those last time, and we're going to tell you how they went. So we got the entire college football crew. We got the head captain, Byron. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good.
We got founder, anime expert, Cedric. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's always good after a spoiler alert, a Buckeye win.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then we got the head producer, Mr. Justin Ackendale. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. After that week in the college football, I had to, come on here and talk some shit before I do my podcast.
Fair enough. So we'll start with the main event first. Byron, take it away.
Like you said, Ohio State won 17-14. Kyle McCord, 21 for 37, 240 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, or no fumbles. So we played a pretty clean game. Even Henderson, 14 carries, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Maya Williams had 1 carry for 0 yards. Chip Trainum, 6 carries for 13 yards, 1 game-winning touchdown. Marvin Harrison, 3 receptions, 32 yards. Emeka Buka, 7 receptions, 96 yards. And Kate Stover, 7 receptions for 52 yards. And then Xavier Johnson caught the longest pass of the night for 1 reception for 40 yards. What I liked about the game, our defense held Hartman to 175 yards and 1 touchdown. He was averaging 265 yards per game coming into the game. So it was good that we only held him to 175. We held Estimi to only 70 yards and no touchdowns, but they also run like 5 different running backs, which I was surprised to see. Their longest play of the game was 28-yard pass, so we didn't let any deep bombs happen or long runs happen. And then I also liked how Henderson had a 61-yard touchdown run. I've been waiting for him to break one off whole year, so it was good to see him do that against Notre Dame.
On the Hartman thing, boy, that fourth quarter though, when it was time, he started carving.
He did start carving.
Like he was hitting some passes, especially down the middle, where I was just like, "Ooh!" And that touchdown, like, "Ooh, this is why they got him." But you're right, we contained them to the best of our abilities and came out. Cedric, how are you feeling during this game? Because this was a real football game. This was great defense, timely offense, came down to the wire. How did you feel about it?
I'm just grateful that I didn't die of a heart attack after this football game. I mean, it was a good game. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And there's another couple different games I was trying to watch at the same time. I think that last drive, I honestly had some out of body experiences, just like when this man's throwing the ball in the middle of the field. I'm like, oh Lord, this is about to get picked. And that dude dropped the pick. I was like, oh my God, you're still there. But happy with the win.
That's a good point. Justin, how did you feel watching this game, watching these two evenly matched teams going at it?
It was definitely evenly matched. I feel like Ohio State stole one. Mm-hmm. If you look at some of these stats, especially that last play of the game on the touchdown run, Notre Dame only having 10 players on the field, and Ohio State runs the ball right where the right defensive end on defense would have been, was crazy. I mean, Ohio State lost time of possession by almost 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So they weren't really, I mean, they didn't get destroyed on the line of scrimmage, but they weren't really controlling the ball. So yeah, it's honestly a miracle that Ohio State won the game. But hey, they survived, and that's what it's about. A team that can win the game, not playing exactly their best offensively, a tough opponent to take them out of the grenade. You got that if you're Ohio State.
Yeah, because when you talk about the time of possession, because there was times where Byron went over the rushing yards, but it just felt like Notre Dame was getting them timely first downs to keep those drives going every time. Like they were so methodical, and like anytime they were getting positive plays. Byron, I know the very first play, very first drive of Notre Dame, something you hate and you always say, take the points. Notre Dame drove right down the field and didn't take the points on the 4th down and went for it, and then they didn't get that one. I know you are a take the points guy.
I am definitely take the points guy. Sam Hartman tried to rush for it. I think it was like 4th and 1. He was like an inch short because he had the ball in the wrong hand. So I was like, man, that definitely came back to bite him because that could have been 17-17 at the end of the game and then probably going to overtime.
Ohio State did it as well. I mean, that jet sweep was god awful.
That was the worst 4th down call I've ever seen.
But it's wild. And I think, Byron, you mentioned too, on that last drive, to go with Justin saying that Ohio State stole it, there was one possession where it should have been a pick. Dude had it right in his hands. And game would have been over. But it's just like the NFL, man. Make or miss, because Justin knows NFL playoffs, that happens all the time.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say about another 4th down that Notre Dame went for. It might have been like one of their first drives coming out halftime in the 3rd quarter, and they tried to run Hartman off the left side, and Ohio State came and laid into him. It was 2 guys. I mean, boom. And you saw the whole sideline for Ohio State jump up. Like Ohio State really wanted that one.
It was crazy because at no point I was just like, oh man, I really don't know who's going to win this game. But when Hartman hit that, like when he started that 4th quarter drive, when they were just going, and he hit that touchdown pass that was smooth, I was like, oof. But I was like, ooh, this is a little rough. And Justin obviously wasn't on. He was doing the editing for the last one. We all had like our impact people that we picked. Byron, do you remember who you picked?
JTT. He actually did have a couple of plays on Notre Dame's last drive. Yeah. So he didn't have a monster game like I thought he would, but he did make some timely plays when he needed to.
What's happened to him?
I have no idea.
Because I don't think he's getting I don't think he's getting double coverage.
I don't think he is. I mean, I would have to look at game tape and just follow him defensively to see why he's not getting pressure like he did last year.
Cedric, who was your X Factor? You remember?
I think I said JTT as well.
I thought you said one of the corners. I thought you said
one of the corners.
I thought you said the secondary in general, which there was one particular person in that secondary who was going crazy.
Oh no, I think I said I would love to trust in Denzel Burke, but I don't trust Denzel Burke.
They didn't throw it to his side though.
I know it was the other one that they threw it to who had a bunch of fucking pass interference stuff.
Yeah, he was getting
getting hold. And I was like, oh my god, bro.
But Ransom, Big Ten Player of the Week.
Yeah, man.
13 tackles. But Justin, as a football guy, what does that say that your second level of your defense is leading in tackling?
That means they're getting completions and getting back there.
He had 13 tackles as a free safety.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the tape too. I mean, he could have been in the box maybe, and
I know there was a couple.
Notre Dame runs the ball out, so they could have showed 7 to 8 man boxes, but yeah, if your secondary is making a bunch of tackles, they're either throwing that bitch to the edge or they're catching it and running it.
And then mine was Mr. Ryan, who for the first time we've never seen him address the media like he did at that end of that game. I mean, blatantly, because Lou Holtz said something before on game day, basically saying the team wasn't tough. Ryan Day was so passionate, talking about he loves these kids. He loves Ohio. It's Ohio against the world. He talked about the one bad half in the past couple of years. And I was like, I don't know about bad half. I mean, there's been some bad games. I don't know about one you're talking about, but he wasn't just calling out Lou Holtz. As we said in our group messages, I even tweeted out, he was calling a lot of people in the state of Ohio out.
Nigga, he was calling out the fucking fan base.
Yes, sir.
Don't sugarcoat this shit. You know who he was fucking talking to. You know who he was talking about. He was talking about those idiots like Mitch also want to take his job and he lose at Michigan again.
Not Mitch.
Only.
I now know why Justin was here.
That was not planned, but Biggie just set me up, and I was like, you know what? I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh man.
You're right though, man, because OSU fans have been on his ass, especially this year, because of the Michigan losses and him not having a title yet, thinking that national titles just fall off trees. And yeah, he was calling people saying that they're soft, they can't win in the trenches. You're right. That was calling out millions of Buckeye fans.
I mean, that whole emotional. I mean, after the game, obviously, he was emotional after stealing a win like that. But yeah, that was built up off, the past 2 years of losing to Michigan, hearing motherfuckers come for his job. And how many losses does he have in the Big Ten?
Big Ten, he only has 2.
And then how many total?
6. And I can name all 6.
Yeah, so just hearing that shit for the past 2 years, yeah, he definitely had to get that shit off his chest.
Byron, Cedric, we talk about the fan base all the time on this podcast. How did you feel when some of those fans were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you called Lou Holtz out. This is great." I was like, "Bro, he calling y'all out too."
Hey, I was flabbergasted. Like, now you one of the ones that was calling Ryan Day, calling bad things about our quarterback because he wasn't playing well in the first 2 games. Hey, I mean, I'm happy that Ryan Day showed some passion. I was ready to run through a wall after the win and after he said that stuff. So hopefully he can carry this passion throughout the rest of the season. I want to see a fired up Buckeye team.
Cedric?
And Byron, I'm going to set up a wall. I wish there was a wall right there. I'll see you run through that. Go for it, bruh. But honestly, I was laughing because I was like, good for Ryan Day being passionate. 100%. I was laughing because a lot of the fans are like, yeah, Lou Holtz. And I'm sitting there like, man, y'all understand, Lou Holtz, like, that's an old dude. This man got wheeled in from the home, was talking smack. Like that wasn't for Lou Holtz. That was for you. Like, that's why I laughed so hard at this. I'm like, yes, because it took old Lou Holtz, who may or may not know what the hell he's talking about. Like, that man struggled in talking smack. He's like, the Buckeyes aren't good. Like, you can tell, like, age has gone to the man. Like, Ryan Day doesn't give a damn about Lou Holtz. He cares about y'all motherfuckers, the fans. That keep talking smack. Let the man live. Let him do his job.
And then the bad thing is, Lou Holtz responded on, out of all the freaking people's podcasts, Dan Dockich, for anyone who listens to college or watches college basketball. He's like, oh, you don't see him talking like that when he talks about Michigan or those big games coming up. He's a great coach. He's done a great job. I still think, I don't think they're a great football team. He can go after me all he wants. I'm like, all right, well, he responded. This should be over. So, yada, yada. He's doing what he wants. But on the flip side, I mean, we're not Notre Dame fans here, but we do cheer for Brother Freeman. Because, as a black man coaching at Notre freaking Dame, we want him to succeed. So,
I want him to survive.
Yeah. But no, it was a good game. It was a really good game. I'm excited we got the win. And Justin is perfectly right. Stole that.
Yeah. Last 2 plays, they only had 10 people on the field.
Yeah,
that's. They ran it right where the defensive end would have been.
That's hilarious.
This dude tried to say it would have been. He was trying to avoid the penalty from having the dude run out. I'm like,
the penalty of 6 inches.
Yes, exactly. Like I think it would have been better to have your 11th man on the field in that situation. Just me. I ain't no coach for nothing.
Yeah, that's growing pains for Freeman. 2nd-year head coach. That's growing pains. But
I bet it was someone's on staff's fault. But yeah, it's his fault. Yeah. And the guys on staff are like, whoa, we can't say that no one's on there yet. Like, we about to get in trouble.
But that was the night. That was the main event of the evening. And just some quick things. We already talked about Ransom being Big Ten Player of the Week with the 13 tackles. Right before, literally after we recorded last Tuesday, NBC and DirecTV and AT&T, they got their agreement because they're like, okay, we really can't have this game not be shown in Columbus, Ohio. So, and it did big ratings. I mean, it peaked at 14.2 million people watching. I mean, biggest game on regular season college football network outside of Labor Day since 2018. Columbus was the most metered market for the game, which nearly 30% of households in Columbus were watching that game.
That's impressive.
I mean, y'all know when you go to Kroger during an OSU game, that's the best time to go.
Oh, I used to work there. I know. Yeah. Those were the best work shifts. But moving to these other big games, because that was a night. We'll go from the beginning, run these down real quick. Florida State, who we all picked to win this game, 31, Clemson 24 in overtime. Clemson had a shot to win it. They missed the field goal. That kicker, it was only a second time kicking. He ain't gonna be kicking anymore. He's gonna be off that team.
I feel so bad for that man.
He's done.
Yeah.
But
it's not even his fault.
He
picked up the phone. He flew down there.
And we want to talk about coaching stuff. Dabo had a coaching blunder too, where he wasted a timeout, and Florida State got the stop. If he would have kept that timeout, they could have maybe tried to get another field goal opportunity, but they went in overtime, and Florida State survives 2 weeks in a row. Justin, thoughts? I know you're a big Florida State person for this year. And this is their first time beating Clemson in 7 years.
I got them to win the Natty.
That makes you a big Florida State person.
Got my money on it too. Like, yeah, I got a Florida State ticket. And yeah, just like Ohio State, Florida State survived. But yeah, big ups to Clemson because they absolutely came out to play. I'm surprised Clemson was able to move the ball like that against Florida State because I watched all that game against Duke, and that fucking offense was constipated as it gets against Duke. So yeah, it looks like Clemson is going to be a tough out for people in the ACC. But yeah, Florida State definitely survived that game, no doubt.
Yeah, and we're already a third of the season over, and Clemson's playoff hopes are officially done.
Yep, they needed to beat FSU. They, like Justin said, they came to play, but just clock mismanagement, missed field goal, kept them from winning it.
They knew their season was on the line. Cedric, any thoughts on the Clemson?
Nah, man. I mean, it was a good game. They tried it. They came out much better than everyone anticipated. Honestly, I thought they were going to choke it real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they started like that game. I was like, all right, this week 4 is about to hit. It's gonna go. Next game, which had the most national press, even more than OSU Notre Dame, was at that point 19 Colorado at number 10 Oregon. We all picked Oregon to win that game. We thought Colorado would show some fight. There was no fight. That was total destruction. You know, I wish we were a big pod where we could do some breaking news stuff and all that, because as soon as I saw Oregon's coach's speech, I knew they were going to kill them. It was a wrap. It was over. When I heard they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins, oh, it was curtains. It was curtains.
Yeah.
And Justin was watching in our group. He's like, I know everyone picked Oregon, but this is bad. Justin, what are your thoughts on that? Was an ass whooping.
Dan Lanning, the Oregon head football coach, took that game absolutely personal.
Mm-hmm.
I saw all of that shit of him. Actually, I saw him on SportsCenter on that Friday, like talking about the game and shit. And he was focused and just ready to beat the dog shit out of Colorado. And then once I saw that some betting site tweeted that most of the money and bets were on Colorado, I told you guys, I'm like, you bet Oregon right now and you max it out because Oregon's about to whoop the dog shit out of them. That is exactly what they did.
I didn't even know I didn't know that. I was like, is this the real? I was shocked because, and you said it was personal. They were up 35-0 at halftime and they were going for it on 4th downs.
I mean, just some of the decisions he was making. He did a fake punt at his own 17-yard line, like had snapped to a fucking 300-pound defense. y'all already laughed at game again. They snapped that bitch to a 300-pound defensive lineman, and he was just running up and down the field. Yeah. Dan Lang to that shit personal. I'm interested to see how Colorado responds to USC. I know USC is taking money right now, but Colorado ain't going to get their ass beat like that against USC because USC's defense is nowhere near as ferocious as Oregon's. So this got to worry about outscoring them, which they won't be able to do either because USC has Caleb Williams, but it's going to look a little better than it did this past weekend.
Cedric, what did you think of the destruction?
Man, that was wild, honestly. Like, there was nothing they could do. I will say it was it's not like a crazy thing like, oh my gosh, Oregon beat Colorado. It's more or less of like a Colorado team that was like doing a lot of things offensively. Like I was watching, I was like, Shadir Sanders, you can't do anything. And it's not even your fault. It's just they are better. Honestly, I think I love the pregame talk.
Mm-hmm.
I also love I feel like a lot of that animosity and ass whoopings, like, yeah, we're gonna run up, came when they found out that players at Colorado was raking on their symbol on the O in the middle of the field before the game. Because knowing from those years back when Baker planted that flag in the middle of the block O, I'll tell you that will get some people going. Disrespecting the symbol, disrespecting the insignia, that will get some people going. So,
yeah, man. Like when he said the fairy tale, I was like, "Oh my god, they're gonna kill them!" Like he was just going. I sat there. I was like, "Oh, Colorado, they don't stand a chance."
You would have thought it was a WWE promo.
I know. I did think it was like he said the fairy tale's over. We play on the field. This ain't Hollywood. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
I wanted to hear someone say, "Yeah."
Shout out to LA Knight. Byron, man. How did you feel seeing that killing?
Man, I was hoping Colorado would do more, man, but they just did not look good on either side of the ball. I mean, they did intercept Bo Nix once, but their offense couldn't get anything going. Like, I didn't think they would get destroyed. Like, I thought it would be closer than a 42-6 blowout.
I don't have the halftime stats because halftime stats were just absolutely atrocious. But at the end of the game, Colorado only had 40 rushing yards. 40.
Yeah.
40. They had 199 total yards the whole game.
Oh, how many sacks they gave up? They can't fucking run block either. Well, not against Oregon. Not against a team like Oregon. They just don't like those linemen like Colorado has. It's just not like to the level of Oregon yet. Like Deion just hasn't been there like long enough. I do agree with what Coach Prime said when he said,
"Yeah,
hey, y'all better get me now. Y'all better get me now." Because he is doing something right there. Like shit. You still gotta remember these niggas won one fucking game last year. And then the media came and hyped all this shit up, and now it's turned into something else. But these motherfuckers won one damn game, last year. If they're bowl eligible, that's a success.
Yes, that's the success that they need to reach. I mean, after week 1, the media was talking about college football playoffs. Like, what are we doing here? And this turnaround with Deion and all of that stuff, it is crazy. But we've seen this. I mean, Scott Frost took a team that was 0-12 to 12-0 in the same year. Remember
Florida?
Okay. And they were chanting, "We want Bama." They hung up a national championship banner in their stadium.
That's just Central Florida. They gotta have something. I mean,
I said, let it ride. But they were. I was like, hey, y'all undefeated. But no, it's just, you're right, Justin. I mean, he is doing something down there. Obviously, we don't know how long he'll be there. But the other thing too, man, you ain't winning no games when you have 106 yards in penalties.
No,
that's undisciplined.
That's probably them just getting wrapped up in the moment of how like serious Oregon was taking that shit, and how personal Oregon took it.
And also, I know we want to keep them in and all that stuff, but Deion, you're down 42-0. Take your son out the game. If he would have got smacked and hurt for the rest of the year, your season is over. You ain't making no bowl without your kid.
I agree.
I understand how much you wanted to score a point, but come on. Shadir should have been out. He should have been out. 42-0, and your son is throwing deep balls.
And your line cannot block Oregon. Like you've seen throughout the game that they can't block them.
Come on. Next up was UCLA, Utah. Byron, did you take UCLA or did we all take Utah?
I took UCLA because I thought their offense would be able to do more.
Well, their offense had 7 points. So
I know. They didn't score 7 points until the fourth quarter.
And Utah had 14. But they had no Cam Rising. I mean, Utah needs this win because I'll talk about it later for the first thing, but this Pac-12. It's his hell.
I don't know what the Bruins were thinking, man. They thought they were going to go up into Uncle Kyle's house in Salt Lake and win. You thought they were going to put up points? I wish I was on to let y'all know. Like,
Hey,
as soon as I
Utah.
realized that the
like
game
that.
was in Utah, I was like, oh, UCLA won't win. That's where Pac-12 dreams go to die.
That is
in
facts.
Salt Lake.
That is facts.
Chip was dreaming, bro. Chip was dreaming well. Okay, he was trying to get it done. It just turned into a nightmare.
That's truly my fake news team, Utah.
They are hard. I like Camp Rice.
Yeah.
Man, last podcast, I had a great ride about Alabama's going to need church on Sunday because that was my upset pick. And they win, so I look dumb.
I was happy them kids are safe.
Yeah, those kids are safe.
Thanks.
Ole Miss 10, Alabama 24. I mean, they got the 2-touchdown lead. They couldn't get anything going. Bama's happy because they have a ranked win under their belt now, and don't look now. Any thoughts on Bama winning?
Not really.
I don't know. Just Bama. I mean, Ole Miss was up 7-6 at halftime, but after that, they really couldn't get anything moving. So,
offense is still constipated. The defense is looking better, but offense is still constipated. They're going to have to figure out a way of scoring points that isn't the way that they have been doing it the past few years. They just don't have the guys right now to do that or the quarterback play.
They need to definitely figure something else out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, next game, which Oregon State 35, Washington State 38. Cedric, did you have Washington State with me or did you have Oregon State?
I took the Beavers.
Okay, so Cedric, you only got one wrong last week?
Sure.
Yeah, because you picked on the other side. Byron, you only got one wrong because you picked.
No, I picked Oregon State too, so I got 2 wrong.
Oh, and then I got 2 wrong because I picked Alabama and no, I only picked Alabama. Yeah, because I picked Washington. I picked Washington. I said, yeah, let's go Mike Leach. But that game was great. 35, 38. Pac-12 going at it. They were going at it the whole conference. Well, any thoughts on the 35-38 win? It went under the radar because of everything else. But
I mean,
I wish I could have watched it.
I watched a little bit. It was nice. I mean, it was a good game. I'll put it this. With the 2 teams that are staying in the Pac-12 or Pac however many, it was a good fight. Like, it was a good reason to say, like, hey, we still here. Like, we'll put up some points. We'll play some football, you know.
That's right. And both are ranked. There was another Big Ten game of ranked opponents. Iowa, after scoring 40-plus points the week before, going into Penn State during the whiteout. It was going on the same time as OSU, and Iowa got blanked out. Penn State 31, Iowa 0. Any thoughts on that? Was an annihilation as well on Penn State, and if you got to watch, we're going to be in some trouble.
Oh yeah, we ain't.
That's what I'm getting ready to say. Y'all, Ohio State, y'all got some motherfuckers to worry about because Penn State is not playing around.
No, they are not.
No, they're not.
That true sophomore quarterback, Drew Adler. First of all, I don't know how the fuck the Buckeyes let that nigga leave the state. He went to Medina. He's from Cleveland. I don't know how they let this nigga get the fuck up out of here. But he is like that. I mean, 6'5", 240, and to do that against Iowa's defense, I mean, Iowa sucks, but that's the only thing that you can fucking do is play some goddamn defense. So to put up that type of performance, I mean, he had 4 fucking touchdowns again. To put up that performance against Iowa in the rain, like, I got something to worry about. We got something to worry about in Columbus, man. Like, that's going to be like Penn State ain't fucking around.
Oh, I am well.
Wait. What time is that game?
It's going to be at night. You already know.
So far, actually.
It's at the shoe, though.
Yeah, it's at the shoe. But
bless God. Oh, man.
Byron, what were your thoughts on the Penn State just 31-0 destruction? Oh, Cedric, and your thing, it's 10:21 at the shoe. Time currently to be determined.
Oh, it's gonna be a night game.
I hope it's a day game.
I said in the preview that Iowa's offense
or big noon kickoff
was trash. Iowa's offense is trash, man. Brian Ferentz bragged about dropping 41 points and his offense scores 0 points. Like, come on, dude. Like, when would Kirk wake up and realize that his offense is not working. Maybe get Brian up out of there.
Because he doesn't want awkward Thanksgiving dinners.
Any holiday, honestly. You ain't have to say Thanksgiving. Any holiday. I'm telling you, nepotism is real, bro. That shit is ugly. I knew they were going to get the dog shit beat out of them, though. It's a whiteout. Like, there ain't no way in hell you about to walk into Happy Valley.
Man, I saw
and
those
do some
pictures. I
things.
said, oh, God. I said, it's better them than us.
I thought they were going to score on defense or special teams or something, though. That's what Iowa does. They score on bullshit. Like, that's what I thought they would at least get a touchdown.
Me too. I thought they were going to, after draw, I was like, oh, maybe
they'll 4 first downs, and 2 of them were on the first. Actually, no, one of them was on the first drive, and the second one, they fumbled. It was going to be the first time, but these niggas fumbled, and that was all the first drive of the game. They had 4 first downs.
Oh, yeah, it ain't no games. Literally a month from now. Literally 1 month, exactly. Penn State. So
I'm gonna have to go try to go to church every Sunday until then.
Because that right now with the new rankings, that's a top 6 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And Buckeyes got to be paired because we've already talked about this. It's during that period.
Total yards from Iowa.
It's during that period where we got Purdue, Penn State, Wisconsin in a row.
What was it again? I'm sorry. It was Penn State.
We got to go to Purdue. We know how that can go sometimes in the state. Then Penn State, then at Wisconsin. That's that little stretch.
Now, if Ohio State doesn't look ahead to Penn State, they'll whoop the dog shot Purdue because Purdue's not good. I just watched Wisconsin destroy them on Friday. But yeah, those 2 games back to back will not be easy.
No.
Yeah.
And then sneaky game, also in the SEC West. I thought this was like Darren McFadden's Arkansas. LSU 34, Arkansas 31. Like a sneaky game.
Man.
Don't sleep on my nigga KJ Jefferson, man.
It was sneaky.
Bro, that was
under
a
the radar.
game.
Yeah.
I felt nervous for Chuck. I was like, man.
It was sneaky. I was like, damn, what's going on over there? Because I was so glued to OSU and Notre Dame. I was like, hold on, what's going on with LSU? But
I mean, Arkansas led at half, 13-10.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually tied up 31 with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left, and Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers drove down the field and kicked a go-ahead field goal to win.
Yeah, no, I agree, but it was a good game. New rankings. Top 3 don't change. Georgia, Michigan, Texas. Ohio State moves up to 4. Florida State drops to 5. Penn State moves up to 6. Washington 7. USC 8. Oregon 9. Utah 10. Notre Dame drops to 11. Alabama goes to 12. Some games coming up this week. Just real quick, get some people's predictions. The other Pac-12 ranked showdown. Utah, Oregon State. Justin, who you got in there?
Ooh, is Cam Rising finally about to fucking play?
We don't know.
We don't know. Nothing's been announced.
See, if this game was going to be in Utah, I wouldn't, it's easy. I'm taking Uncle Kyle and the Utes, but DJ's been playing well lately since he made the move over to Oregon State.
There was time for Clemson, missed him.
Yeah. Well, shit, not this past weekend.
This past weekend,
that's the best game I seen Kane Cudlett play.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with Utah, man. I love this team. I'm sorry.
Okay, Cedric.
Man, fuck it. I'll pick the Beavers again.
It's a Friday game too. Friday game.
Mm-hmm.
Friday FS1.
Beavers. Byron.
I got Utah this time. Especially if Cam Rising comes back. Oh, it's going to be a game. It's definitely going to be a defensive battle because they're like number 2 and number 3 defensively in the Pac-12. So probably going to be another low-scoring game.
I'll take Utah as well. Next one, just because all the people will be there as well. USC, Colorado. Does Colorado not get their ass whooped?
I don't know, man.
I will say
you say that.
Colorado will score at least 3 touchdowns that game.
Okay. And then how much?
Bare minimum.
321 points. Okay.
So I'm saying bet the over.
Ooh.
But USC will beat them. That is going to be your classic Pac-12 no defense game. It's going to look a lot like Washington and Cal from this past weekend. Just USC is going to score whatever the fuck they want, but Colorado is going to get some points up too.
Byron?
I have USC winning.
Oh, we know that. I'm asking if you think it's going to be an ass whooping.
If that'd probably be a shootout.
All right, so you're going to Justin.
USC. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll at least score 21.
Cedric?
I think it'll be a shootout. After last week, I don't think they'll get their ass whooped out here. And again, like Justin said, this isn't Oregon defense. This is USC. I think Caleb Williams is going to have a fucking show.
Yeah.
Justin, I know we're going to be talking about this when we do our NFL pod, but am I crazy to think USC is going to drop 60 plus?
No.
Okay.
They will only so USC. It's amazing that they haven't scored 60 in every single game. I mean, Caleb Williams is literally 5 touchdowns a game.
Yes.
He averages 5 touchdowns a game. There's been a couple times I've watched them, and the only reason why they haven't gotten to 60 or fucking close to 70 is because they've taken them out and have rested them in the fourth quarter.
I'm nervous, man. I think Caleb might have 40 by half.
Oh, he very well could. He very well could.
I'm gonna go with y'all. They're gonna get three tutties, but it might be 21-60 by the end of the game.
I'm telling you, there are so many good quarterbacks in college football right now. It's fucking wild. Every single game, you see someone, you're like, damn, that nigga pretty good. Caleb Williams,
we're gonna be. You're right.
Night and day better than all these motherfuckers. It makes no sense.
And we're gonna be talking about that I got some stuff to say about that at the end of this. Kansas versus Texas, both ranked. For Texas, this is the last game before the Red River rivalry. Who you got in that, Byron? Texas or Kansas?
I have Texas winning.
Cedric?
Texas.
Justin? We got a classic look ahead.
I know. It's a classic look ahead. Closer than the experts think. Kansas covers.
Hey! All right, I'm going to go with that.
Wins, though.
Yeah, Texas. I'll go with that. We got LSU versus Mississippi SEC ranked showdown. Justin, who you got?
I think I'm wanting to go LSU here. I think they're still in the national title picture.
Yes,
and I think they're going to come out ready for Ole Miss. And then Ole Miss having to deal with Alabama, then LSU back to back. That's just a tough spot.
Byron?
I got LSU as well. Ole Miss doesn't move the ball well against a good defense, and I don't think they're going to move the ball well against LSU.
Cedric?
I take LSU.
Okay. Notre Dame versus North Carolina. Cedric, who you got in that?
It's Duke.
It's Duke.
It's Duke? I thought they were playing North Carolina.
No, number 17 Duke.
17 Duke. Why did I think they were playing freaking Drake May? Oh, well, that kind of changed what I was going to thank you. So, Notre Dame versus Duke. Who do you guys have?
I'll stick with Notre Dame. I think they're going to come back. Going to get a good bounce back game. I haven't seen a lot of Duke football outside of them upsetting the first week. I haven't watched them.
They're undefeated.
Yeah, 4-0.
Very nice. Cedric, who you got? I mean, Cedric, I'm sorry, you already said it. You said, yep. I'm sorry, probably. Justin, who do you have?
I think I'm going to roll with Duke.
Upset?
I'm going to roll with Duke. They have that game at home. They have an NFL guy. They have a quarterback who's probably going to go to the NFL. I'm going to take Duke on that one. Night game. Weird shit happens. But Notre Dame should be pissed off and whoop the dog shit out of them. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Byron?
This would be a huge win for Duke, not only beating Clemson that first game, but beating a ranked Notre Dame
in the same year.
That would be crazy for Duke. They're I think currently number 3 in the ACC behind Florida State and Louisville. So it would be a great win for them. I just think Notre Dame's going to come out, play angry after losing to OSU. Like Justin said, it was a steal because they only had 10 players on that last drive. So I think Marcus Freeman's going to have them fired up, and I'm going with Notre Dame.
Everyone's points are valid. I am taking Duke for the upset.
Okay.
Does Duke play football, Martin?
You're damn right Duke plays football. But the reason being is when you lose a game, and everyone here has played a sport, something, anything, when you lose in heartbreaking fashion, that next game, you either come pissed off, like you guys said, or you don't want to be there. Because you're still thinking about last week.
Yeah, it's not the greatest get right spot for Notre Dame right now.
No, they needed the at Louisville. And the bad thing is, because there's still a lot of crazy. They aren't out of this playoff thing yet. Because there's a lot of crazy.
Yep.
And they have one more big game on 10-14 against USC.
Yep.
They run
the George Shillelagh.
They run the table, only have that one loss. As Justin said, against a steal against Ohio State, that's your only loss, and everyone else is starting to lose. It could happen.
They do have to go. They do have to go to Clemson in November, though.
But what mindset is Clemson going to be in at that point in time? They might have 4 losses by then.
I think Dabo's going to get him up for that game. He got him up for Florida State.
That is true.
I think they're going to play up for that one.
That's true. But I just feel like this isn't the spot. Like, and those kids, man, seeing them when OSU scored, it's the beauty of sports. The winners and the losers. That's pain. That is pain. Y'all did everything as you could do, and you couldn't stop them right at that one.
Well, they didn't do everything.
Well, they're just in their sense. They're like, we had the game, but hey, then I'm not a fan of only dropping 8 back and playing prevent. These quarterbacks are way too good in these days for that. So, all right, guys. A third of the season's already over. So
crazy.
We have one more month of October, and then one full month of November. Then conference championships the first week of December, and then playoffs. So So what have you? What's your guys' observations after 1/3 of the regular season's over? Byron, we'll go with you.
My biggest one is Texas is actually doing better than I thought they would.
Okay.
Very surprised. Especially them beating Bama when they were super close last year and couldn't get it done. Texas, shocking. Also, Duke being 4-0, beating Clemson. When I thought Clemson was going to win the ACC, that is officially dead as of Saturday. So those are my 2 biggest observations.
Cedric?
Honestly, the conferences, like the SEC and the ACC, that we typically see, like teams that are just constantly running things. There's a lot of questions going on now.
SEC is wide open.
Like,
well, not wide open. 3 teams, but wide open.
So it's one of those things. I'm like, these are 2 conferences. I thought, like, okay, Clemson all day is going to run it. Like Alabama, Georgia, Alabama, they're going to run it. Now it's just like I don't know what could happen. Get the right field advantage, right home field advantage, right conditions. You can make it work for yourself out there, honestly.
I agree. Justin?
I think it will be some of the quarterback play that we've seen. I mean, Florida State, Jordan Travis, he's really good. Fucking Michael Penix, the number 1 shortest odds to win the Heisman right now. He's lighting shit up over there in Washington.
Ooh, can't wait till it's my turn. I can't wait.
Quinn Ewers at Texas. Just some of the quarterback play we've been seeing in college right now has just been out of this world. That's my big takeaway.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of Michael Penix, because my biggest takeaway, I don't think this is a hot take because this is factual right now. The Pac-12 in their last year, they are the best conference in college football right now.
Yep.
Not even close. Not even close. You go look at that top 20. USC, Oregon, Utah, Washington. Just at the top. Then you got middle teams like Washington State, Oregon State. Justin, you brought up quarterback play. Outside of Travis over there in Florida State, the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the entire country are in the Pac-12.
I mean,
Yes.
I love Jordan Travis. He's been really good. If I had to rank quarterbacks how they've been playing in college, it's Caleb Williams, Penix second, and then you can rank whatever's behind them.
Yeah, and I would put
Travis, those two.
Yeah, it's those two. And I'd put Travis there, but then Cam Rising, when fully healthy, is a top 5 quarterback in college.
Absolutely. Yeah.
People forgot. You're seeing it right now. The Heisman is going to be decided in the Pac-12. Bo Nix killing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Pac-12 is going to decide the Heisman. Like, I'm looking at these quarterbacks like Justin, and I'm seeing them all in the Pac-12 besides. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, all the good ones. Jordan Travis, ACC, Drake May. Well,
I don't see it with Drake May's NFL. He's more like he's going to be.
He's going to be an NFL guy, but I don't really see it. I don't really see it with him. Like, just North Carolina in general. Like, I'm just not really impressed by them.
But it's the fact you look like 7, 8, 9, 10 all Pac-12 teams right now. Like that is absurd.
Yeah, they're going to be some. Hopefully, they can keep it up next year when they're all in new conferences.
I know. They're all in when they're all in different conferences. Like it's just crazy because I'm just looking at USC right now. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams. Like after they beat the dog shit out of Colorado, they have Arizona, and listen to their final season stretch. If they win all these games, Caleb is winning the Heisman again. They're going to the playoffs. This is their final season stretch. 10-14, which is going to be another big week for us, at Notre Dame. Right after Notre Dame, Utah. Then after
Utah?
No, see, she was about to go the Justin route. No.
You don't win there. You don't win at Utah. You win Salt Lake.
They're home. They're home for Utah.
Okay.
So at currently number 11 Notre Dame, verse number 10 Utah right after. Then you have at California in the middle, little buffer. And then Washington and at Oregon. Talk about that slate.
USC won't go undefeated. The defense is too shitty. It's too shitty.
The Heisman is being decided there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I saw that. I'm like, the Pac-12 is just wild.
That's another big thing about college football right now. It's not just the fucking Midwest and the South right now. The West Coast got some ball.
And you want to talk about, and I'm just looking at Washington, Michael Penix, obviously 10-14 is going to be big. They got Oregon on 10-14.
Ooh.
We're going to have a big one we're going to have a big preview for that week. And they're hosting that game. So then after they play Oregon, Arizona State, Stanford, listen to this final at USC versus Utah, at Oregon State versus Washington State. As Justin would say, they ain't going undefeated either.
No, that's why the Pac-12 don't ever get them niggas in the playoffs, bro. They shot each other. I wish they would. I wish they would have at least survived to see the 12-game playoffs, so we could see how many Pac-12 teams. But then they would have politicked and found a way to not let all this talent that is concentrate on the West Coast, concentrated in the current Pac-12 that we're not going to see next year
and
into the playoff.
Then Utah. When it gets to, they have USC and Oregon back to back.
Which one is a home game?
Oregon.
That one's gonna be a good one.
It's Pac-12, man. It's their final season. This is crazy.
I'm telling you, some of the most fun that I watch, some of the most fun I have watching college football is staying up at that 10:30 kickoff after getting my ass kicked in bets all day Saturday and winning it back watching Oregon or fucking Oregon State versus Washington or a game like that at night. Game ain't over till 2 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, those games, when they're close, they really do go. Like, you're sitting there, you're like, damn, it's really 2 a.m, but I'm going to go sleep in a couple hours. I got NFL.
And then it's 40-35. All high scoring when they get crazy like that. I love it.
I really want USC and Washington to be. I want Caleb and Penix to be undefeated by the time they meet, but I don't see that happening.
That Pac-12 too tough.
Like, whoo, 10-14 gonna be something. That is gonna be a great preview week. With that being said, OSU's on a bye week, so we're chilling until October, and then we start the October stretch.
And first game after the break is Maryland.
That's Baby Tua is still playing, right?
Yes, Baby Tua is still playing. I think he has like 1,200 passing yards so far.
Damn. Shit.
Only 4 games. Shit.
But yeah, Pac-12 killing. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Shout out to Ryan Day from the Rational L7C Ohio State fans. With that being said, L7C podcast signing out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.